I came across this absolutely incredible video the other day. Check this out. This is Colorado Representative Amy Pascal, and as you can see, she is coloring on her tablet like a child during a gun control debate. And yet somehow this gets even worse. Look at her desk. She has sticker sheets out. This looks like a kindergartner's desk.
Yeah, sure, a gun control debate is going on, one that I'm supposed to be participating in, a debate that will affect U.S. law. Nah, I think I'll just color.
And she is doing all of this out in the open. She's not even trying to hide it. Mercy, I would love to see what's in her drawers. Bubbles and Play-Doh, I would imagine. Maybe a Light Bright? One of those little berries you can color and then wash? Now, I tried to look up her age, but I could not get an exact number. However, judging by when she graduated college, she should be about 61 years old. And so if you're anything like me, you're probably thinking, oh, okay, she's 61. So she's been in politics her whole life, she's preparing to retire, and she just doesn't care anymore. Not great, but we only have to put up with her for a few more months. No, she just got into politics. She was elected into her first term in January of this year. And the video you just watched is from April. So she gets elected into her first term, and less than 3 months later, she's caught on camera coloring and stickering like a child during debates. And keep in mind, that's just the first time that we know of. Do you think that's the first time she's actually ever done that? She seems awful comfortable in doing it. And get this, not only is this her first term, but she's already preparing to run for re-election when this term is up. Why? Are there no good places to sit and color at home? She's 61 years old. The average woman in the US retires at 62, and for good reason. Apparently once you hit those 60s, you start getting the urge to color. And yet for her at retirement age, she is just beginning in her political career. And you know what? She's actually a young gun in politics. In the US, the average age of a representative is 59, and the average age of a senator is 64. Commercial pilots are forced to retire at age 65 because the airlines no longer think they're capable of making sharp decisions. And yet that's the average age of our senators, whose whole job is to make sharp decisions on our behalf. And keep in mind, that's the average age. The oldest person in Congress serving right now is Chuck Grassley. Do you know how old he is? Seriously, take a guess. How old do you think he is? He is 92 years old. 92. He was elected in 1980, and he's been there ever since. He was 12 years old when World War II ended. He remembers the Great Depression because he was there. And keep in mind, he's not alone. There are tons of other elderly people in Congress. Hal Rogers, 85. Maxine Waters, 85. Steny Hoyer, 84. Mitch McConnell, 83. And the list goes on and on and on. Joe Biden was 82 when he left office. And sharp as a tack, might I add.
And to get hot, I got hairy legs that turn, blonde in the sun.
Trump will be 82 when he leaves office. Many people are now halfway jokingly referring to our government as a gerontocracy. Geron meaning old man, and tocracy meaning government. Old man government. Or old woman government. We have to be inclusive. These people are our grandparents' age. Now look, I love my grandparents, and I'm sure you do too. But they have no idea what's going on in the world today. They think it's still the 80s. They have no idea what the real world is like. And there's this gentleman at church I'm friends with, and I absolutely love him. He's 77 years old, and he keeps up to date on current events and politics way more than anyone else I know his age. He's on X, for crying out loud. He tweets more than I do. But he texted me a few weeks ago, and he was like, "Hey, I have a friend moving to town, and he's looking for a place to live. How much are those new apartments by your work?" The apartments he's referring to are brand new luxury apartments that were built in Scottsdale. And so I'm like, those are $3,000 a month just for a studio. And he can't believe it. He thinks I'm lying to him. I wanted the rent for a month, not a whole year. And so he texts me back, "My friend is not willing to spend any more than $400 a month on rent. Where can he get a good apartment for that?" I don't know, 1982? The cheapest apartments within an hour and a half of here are $1,200 a month, and those are in the ghetto. I'm talking drug deals and drive-bys on a nightly basis. I'm talking rats and cockroaches in the kitchen, and even those places are getting hard to find. And I'm sure we all have stories like that from our grandparents. Now imagine those same people running the nation, because they are, making laws and decisions that affect you on a daily basis. That is exactly what is going on. That is exactly what has been going on. And in fact, in a lot of cases, it's even worse because your grandparents lived in the real world, at least at some point in time. But a lot of the politicians we have now are career politicians. They have spent their entire lives in politics. They have never lived in any version of the real world. Their whole life they have been taken care of. Their whole life they have been paid from your taxes. They have never felt the struggle of the real world. They have no idea what it's like. They cannot relate to it. And that's on top of them being 80 years old. Imagine an 80-year-old man who's never had any job outside of politics. He thinks a monthly mortgage costs $400. He thinks you can fill up your car with gas for $10. He thinks groceries for a family of 4 cost $15 a week. He thinks you can buy a starter home for $40,000. Now imagine him deciding what happens with the economy. Because he is. It almost feels like we have intentionally gone out of our way to find the most disconnected group of people we possibly could and put them in positions of power over us. And not only are they disconnected, but they're tired. Right now, you can look up online and see whole montages of our elderly senators falling asleep on the job. But I mean, how can you be surprised? They're old. Of course they're gonna fall asleep. They're 90. And we have barely even began to touch on cognitive decline. Joe Biden was senile during his entire presidency. People think Mitch MCConnell had a stroke during an interview.
This week has been good bipartisan cooperation and a string of
Are you good?
Okay, Mitch? Anything else you want to say, or should we just go back to your office? Do you want to say anything else to the press? Go back to you.
Go ahead, John.
John Fetterman did have a stroke and largely lost the ability to comprehend spoken word, and yet is still in office. And there are tons of other examples I could point to, examples I'm sure you could point to that make you seriously question the cognitive ability of some of our senior members of government. They should be in nursing homes. They should be enjoying their golden years with their families. But instead, we have decided to put them in the most powerful positions in the world. Huh? Oh, this nursing home that Dad wanted to go to is just too expensive. I don't know how we'll be able to afford it. Hey, wait a minute. I know. Let's have him run for Congress. He's senile. He won't know the difference. And we wonder why the nation's a mess. It reminds me of Walmart. You know when you check out and you go to leave and they have some old person with a walker there checking your receipt to make sure you're not shoplifting? They'll have a big black guy working in the back. They'll have a muscular college guy running the checkout. But then they'll get the oldest, most feeble, sickly employee they have, and they'll have them do security up front. Like, yeah, if I was a criminal looting the store, the only person that could stop me would be this arthritis-ridden grandma. Imagine going to Walmart and finding out they put your grandma on the front lines of defense. That's awful. But yet, that is exactly what our nation has done. All of these geriatric politicians seem to be either too old to care, too tired to care, or too out of touch to be able to care. We need young people in office. We need young people who care, who are driven, who are connected with reality, who know what daily life is like, who have the energy to fight for this nation. And keep in mind, when I say young people, I just mean someone who's not 85, maybe? Let's get some young-blooded 50-year-old whippersnapper in there. Let's give that kid a shot. Guys, I'm not even joking. While working on this video, I saw this uploaded to Instagram. Janet Mills, who is the current governor of Maine, she is 77 years old and is now running for U.S. Senate. If elected, she will be 85 years old at the end of her first term. Gerontocracy. Honestly, I feel like a good cutoff age would be 75. Or at least a good place to start, wouldn't it? That sure beats 85. That would get rid of like half of our current government. At least that's how it feels.